Picture this: Colombia, the city of Medellin in the early 1970s. The streets are restless. The government is shaky. The young and ambitious are looking for a way out of poverty and into power. In the middle of this chaos stands a tall young man with a crooked smile. His name is Pablo Emilio Escobar Gaviria. Nobody knows it yet, but this man will become one of the richest and most feared criminals who ever lived. Pablo did not come from privilege. He grew up in a modest family. His father was a farmer, his mother was a school teacher. He did not have the pedigree of the wealthy elites of Medellin. But what he did have was hunger, a hunger shaped by poverty, a hunger sharpened by opportunity. He once told his cousin Gustavo that he would not die poor. Gustavo thought he was joking. He was not. Young Escobar started small. He sold stolen tombstones and resold fake lottery tickets. He ran car theft operations and bribed officials. He paid off policemen by leaving cash in the glove box. He built networks of favors. In Medellin, corruption was not an obstacle. It was a currency. Then came cocaine. In the 1970s, it was the new gold of the Americas. Americans wanted it. Cartels supplied it. And Pablo Escobar saw in cocaine what others failed to see. It was not just a narcotic. It was an empire waiting to be born. He partnered with pilots, smugglers, and chemists. He built labs in remote jungles. He studied transport routes from Colombia to the United States. At first, the shipments were tiny, a few kilograms tucked into airplane tires or clothing. Soon they ballooned into tons, and then into fleets of planes, boats, and even submarines. The money poured in like rain in a tropical storm. Escobar became a millionaire before he turned 30. But millions were not enough. He wanted glory. He wanted reverence. He wanted to be loved. To the poor of Colombia, he became a savior. He built football fields and schools. He handed out cash and gifts. He paid medical bills. He used the one formula he understood perfectly. Give the people what they need, and they will protect you. People called him Robin Hood. They whispered it with admiration. Robin Hood of Medellin, they said. He is for us. He takes from the rich gringos and gives to the people. But Robin Hood does not make billions. Pablo Escobar did. At the peak of the 1980s, his Medellin cartel controlled over 80% of the global cocaine market. His net worth soared above $20 billion. Forbes magazine listed him among the wealthiest people in the world. While the rest of the country fought to survive, Pablo Escobar lived like a medieval king. His estate, Hacienda Nápoles, was the crown jewel. A sprawling ranch filled with lakes, exotic animals, tennis courts, and private airstrips. One could walk past sculptures, fountains, and a life-size dinosaur replica. He imported giraffes and elephants. He built a zoo because he could. Laws were simply suggestions to him. He paid off judges, he bought politicians, and when someone could not be bought, he made them disappear. Escobar operated under a simple code: plata o plomo, silver or lead. Take a bribe or take a bullet. The choice was yours. This tactic fed fear like a virus. Police captains took cash, officials looked the other way, journalists stayed silent or ended up dead. And soon Pablo wanted more. He wanted power. He wanted legitimacy. He wanted to trade his bulletproof vest for a suit in the halls of government. So he entered politics. He ran as an alternate member of the Colombian Congress. He financed roads and housing projects. He shook hands. He smiled for cameras. At first, people believed. A successful local businessman reinvesting in his homeland, they said. Why not let him help shape the future of Colombia? Then one newspaper refused to play along. The editor dug into Escobar's past. The report revealed his drug trafficking ties. It exposed his criminal activities to the national stage. Escobar reacted as Escobar always did. The editor was assassinated. The mask had fallen. Politicians distanced themselves. Church officials condemned him. The United States sharpened its focus and pushed Colombia to confront him. Escobar retreated into a world where elections were no longer relevant, where terror and money were the only votes that mattered. The battle escalated. Bombings shook Medellin. Judges were killed. Presidential candidates were murdered. Entire planes were brought down to eliminate one target. The cartel slaughtered without hesitation. To Pablo Escobar, this was not chaos, it was strategy. The Colombian government sealed its alliance with Washington. Extradition treaties were strengthened. Traffickers could be sent to American prisons where their reach was limited. Escobar feared one thing above death. He feared those prisons. So he unleashed a campaign of violence to stop extradition entirely. The government bent. They offered him a deal. Surrendering Colombia and you will never be handed over to the United States. Escobar agreed, but on his own conditions. He would build his own prison. He would choose the guards. He would control the inside. The world looked on in disbelief. La Catedral was less a prison than a palace with bars. It had a football field, a bar, a waterfall, and a view of Medellin. Escobar used it as his headquarters. He managed operations from inside. He tortured rivals and threw lavish parties. Once again, he played by his own rules. Until he made a mistake. From inside his private prison, he murdered members of his own circle. The government decided enough was enough. They planned to move him to a real facility. Escobar fled. The manhunt began. He moved from safe house to safe house. His wealth evaporated, friends abandoned him, allies betrayed him. Colombia turned on the man who once fed its hungry. He no longer walked the streets with a smile and open arms. He crept through alleys with fear in his eyes. On December 2nd, 1993, the hunt reached its final chapter. Escobar was tracked to a rooftop in Medellin. Cornered, he fought like he had lived. Bold, reckless. He was shot and killed. The news spread like thunder across Colombia. Some celebrated, some mourned. Many simply exhaled. The nightmare had ended. The legacy of Pablo Escobar is not a simple story. He was not just a monster. He was not simply a philanthropist. He was both. A man who built hospitals and bombed airplanes. A man who fed children and killed judges. A man who dreamed of greatness but drowned Colombia in fear. His life holds a dark lesson. Power built on blood does not last. Money built on pain never buys peace. And ambition without conscience devours everything, including the one who holds it. When people in Medellin visit the place where Escobar fell, some whisper prayers and some whisper curses, but many simply walk past silently, because the shadow he left is not a story to glorify. It is a reminder of how easily a nation can be held hostage by a single, relentless will. That is the story of Pablo Escobar, the boy from Medellin, the king of cocaine, a man who wanted to be loved and died being hunted, a legend born from desperation and ended by the very violence he unleashed.